All right. Hang on. I'm going to put a link on. It's a coming. There it goes. I'm going to delete the other link. Well, I don't see the other link. Okay, let me delete these others. Hey, guys. All right, just put it on. Tell me if you can do comments now. There they are. I don't know what the heck happened. It was the same dang thing. Y'all going to have to tell me who you are, because I don't know who you are on here. All right. I just fixed all that. Yay. All right. Hit that second link and see what happens. And I'm going to go delete the other videos so we don't have to worry about it. Wahoo! Thank y'all for bearing with me. Goodness gracious. I swear. It's dark here. How y'all doing? Are we on? Are we on? We got 4 on there. I had to turn on chat. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, you had to turn on chat. Oh, well, maybe it wasn't me then. Maybe it wasn't me. Wouldn't that be a change of scenery? Can y'all head over to the YouTube now? Let me delete that first link. Is it going to let me see all the comments? You know, it's not even let me see all the comments,
wasn't me
y'all. Hang on. I swear. It says there's 27 comments, but it don't let me see them. All right. Well, make sure it's the second one. The second one. So go hit that one and come over on YouTube. You don't have to have an account. You can come watch without having an account. There's 6 of you over here. What? Trump over me? How rude. Beautiful here. Praying for y'all. Aw. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. I'm going to cut this one off so y'all come and watch me over on my YouTube. I put the link down there. Let me see if I can take the first one off. Okay. I'm taking the first one off. Delete. And let me pin the other one. So you guys should be able to see this one as soon as I pin it. It's in the comments, though. Hang on. All right, pinning it. Pin comment. Yay. All right, so it should be right at the top. Okay, come on over to YouTube for me. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Where's everybody at? Tell me who everybody is, because I know who you are on Facebook, but I don't know who you are on YouTube. Y'all gonna have to fill me in. And I'm going to delete the other YouTube. This is all new to me, and I'm trying to get it going right. Okay, let's see. Here is my videos. Let's do this. Log Home Dad's still out working. All right. My videos. How's the weather where you guys are? Hey, Jody. All right, let me get rid of this one. Okay. I think, no. I'm going to make it private. I think that might be the best thing to do. That way it doesn't go away. All right, so it is done. No, private. Why does it let me change it to private? I guess I'm gonna have to delete it. Wait. All right. Hey guys, same as yours. You so funny. Look at this. So I've been working hard all day. So okay, let's start from the beginning. With Hurricane Irma, we flooded. There was a lot of circumstances going on with that. We did not know we have wetlands behind us, and they're supposed to be protected. And we did not know so we flood with Irma. We have like a French drain in the back. So all the water comes around our house and goes down into the French drain, and it pumps it throws it out into the wetlands. Well, we are taking on water that night with Irma. And actually, we were all down in a basement because that was kind of like our safe room. There's no windows down there or anything. And Logcomb Dad comes in and says, y'all gotta go. Water's coming in. We're like, what the heck? So we all go upstairs, and here comes the water in. The first day, we tried to get a hold of the people back there because we had a little spot. We have been here for a while now. I mean, we've lived here for 17 years. We had this little spot in the corner of the room that got wet. And we honestly thought maybe our lab peed there, and because it kind of smelled. And it was a commercial carpet that the guy that had the house before us put down there. So there was no padding or anything. So it kind of smelled a little bit. So we thought she had peed at first, but then it stayed wet even after we dried it. And because, that's our business. We do water damage restoration. So we dry structures. And so Logcomb Dad really got to thinking about it. And he's like, I think there's something going on. So he goes around to the neighbors around back. They have a farm there. There's no house there, nothing. And so he goes around there, and they had made a small pond. It was small. And it was clogged. The guy went and took a rake, raked the drain, and we never had another problem until Irma. So Irma happens, and we could not get on that property. Nobody would go on the property. Nobody from the city, from the county, from anything. So we knew something was going on. And we ended up 5 days flooded. In some areas was up to 3 feet. We lost everything. It's a finished basement. It's a basement and then our garage, but we lost everything in there because it had sat. And on top of it all, there was a bag of cat litter in there that we had for something. I forget what it was. Well, that cat litter expanded and got on everything. It was disgusting. So we lost everything, and we had to rebuild it all. And come to find out, we had someone come over with a drone. We paid them to come over with a drone, and they got up on our shop roof. This pond is now like at least an acre. It's huge. You're not allowed to dam up wetlands. You're not allowed to do any of this stuff. So nobody would help us. Department of Environmental wouldn't help us. The county, the city, we tried the state. We tried everyone, and they would all bump it back to someone else. No one would help us. No one. And the Department of Environmental said they would, but they have to serve them with papers, and it could take like 2 to 5 years. So we finally found someone over there. And one of the things was the county was so nice to us. He's the environmental part of the county. He's just a good old boy, great man. I gave him lots of jellies and apple butter and stuff. And he went and cited them with what he could do right now that wouldn't have to go into courts. He cited them with not having proper drainage. Well, in the middle of all that, the commissioner come over that for our area, and he went over. So we're in Orlando, but right next to us, like there's their property and then a road, and that road is the city of Ocoee. So all still Orange County, but Orlando, city of Ocoee. So apparently during the hurricanes way back, like 20 years ago, there was 3 that came through. There's a retention pond, and it had flooded. And because there was so much rain, and it caused the road to flood. Well, this is a plane that comes down from all these properties and goes into this retention pond. So the city of Ocoee thought it was a bright idea to slow the slow it down that they took the drainage pipe that comes from all this area and comes down, because we're on a slope. So the front of our house is high. And so the whole land is on a slope going to the wetlands into the retention pond. And they took that pipe. So, you know how you got the big old like 24-inch pipe that comes out and goes into the retention pond. They filled it with concrete halfway. So not only did the pond have a 6-inch pipe in the bottom of it, but that pipe, the city of Ocoee filled it halfway. And of course, we had an amazing lawsuit, but the lawyers wanted a $10,000 retainer, and it would cost us anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 by the time we got done. Now we're flooded. We don't have flood insurance because we're not on a flood, zone. And I mean, and now we got to rebuild. I mean, it was a mess. And we're like, are you kidding me right now? So, but the city, the county, he was so amazing. He went and cited them for something that make it happen right then. He made them put in 24-inch piping that leads out to that. And he made the city of Ocoee knock that out, the concrete out. So the now flashed to Hurricane Irma, which was way worse, or not, Ian, everybody's calling it something different. Makes it, this hurricane was, the 5th worst that's ever hit the United States. So we did, leading up, because we didn't do this with the other one because we never had a problem before. So literally we have brought everything up at least 3 feet. And a lot of things Log Home Dad brought upstairs. So my Scentsy business is down there. So literally hundreds of boxes, stuff. It's just, you wouldn't believe. We have big 6-foot tables in there and they're just filled full of stuff. So that's what I've been working on the last couple of days. But so we've put it all up. We didn't take in a drop of water. Our pump hasn't come on one time. So what does that tell you? I'm sitting here going, are you kidding me? Our electric bill that month was $1,200. And this was before the all this fuel increase last couple of years. So this was, Irma was like 3 years ago or whatever it was. And I think it was 3 years ago. So our electric bill was $1,200 because we had 2 pumps running 24 hours a day trying to pump that water out. And it was just flowing right back in as fast as it got pumped out. And it literally took about 6 months before we stopped taking in water, some kind of seepage or something. So finally, Log Home Dad last year got to do the bathroom that's down there. We have a bathroom in the garage. And so this time we did not take on any water, thank goodness. But I did do a video. There's a video on here, and I took you around the yard. We have one limb down at the kitchen window. When before Irma really started coming, we were just getting those outer bands. This limb was swaying. I looked at Log Home Dad and I said, I don't think that one's going to last. Well, after Irma had come through and we're still, doing the residuals from it, all of a sudden that thing broke. And how it did not fall into my kitchen window or even the garage, I don't know. It's standing up straight. It's 2 stories tall. So it goes from our bottom level, which is our basement, all the way up to the 2nd level. I'm on the 3rd level right now. So, that's as big as a dang any tree. It's huge. It's so big. And we had another tree go down across my pineapples. My berry arbor stopped it from smushing the pineapples. And then we have a couple of trees topped. We could hear trees popping all night long. And at one time in the middle of the night, I woke up and it was just a whipping and stuff. And I looked outside and I've never seen trees sway like these were. I'm like, how are these trees not breaking? We had stuff hitting the house, but nothing. It didn't do any damage to the house. The only thing we had is like a window. Water came in through it, but that happens in hurricanes when you got high winds. The windows give way. And it's just something they do to keep from, breaking out or whatever. So I did have water come in one of the windows, but it wasn't a lot. Nothing even to dry. So it's just a little sprinkles. But the yard, so 2 acres, there's not an inch that doesn't have some kind of yard debris, sticks, limbs, moss, whatever. It's a mess. It's going to take us. Just walking on it is like, you got to, and I'm a barefoot girl. You got to have shoes on because, man. And I got on the porch tonight because I put plants in my baskets out front, which I'd been wanting to do for a little bit. And I decided to do that. It would be something easy because I think I've cracked my rib. And so I go and do that, and I'm took the plants that were in it and went and put them in the front bed. And I came back I stepped on the porch and I was like, what is that? And it was a stick that had went up in my flip-flops about a half inch. And I'm like, well, thank God I wasn't barefoot because that would have got me good. The chickens are great. Everybody's been asking about the chickens. We closed up the coop. Log Home Dad put all the stuff of theirs from outside in the coop. In the run, not the coop. We closed up the coop. We left the one window open that goes into the run, and the other window we shut. And we left them in there all day on Thursday because we still got, rain didn't stop until like 5:30. We were without power. In 10 more minutes, it would have been 24 hours. So we were without power for 24 hours. And I'm so glad because Log Home Dad's out work, and I was so worried about him. He starts getting text messages like 7 that morning and he leaves. And it is still high winds. Things are being thrown everywhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was worried to death about him. And he's been out ever since. He's not home yet, helping people with their places. And then, it's funny because like people will want him. Well, can you come over and give me an estimate and tell me what needs to be done? Nope. Because I got people that needs a job done. We've literally got like a couple dozen people on a waiting list. It's been insane. And so while he's gone, I'm trying to get some things done down there, which I've made great strides down there. And it's great because I'm cleaning as I go along. So I'm able to put organize the boxes on the shelves and stuff like that. So that's been really nice. But it's just going to be a few weeks of getting everything back together and all. Now, I did share pictures yesterday of Malacca. That's where we were our anniversary a couple weeks ago. We stayed on Pine Island, and you got to go through this little community, and there's a bridge. So you go through the little community, and it's so cute. You guys, we ate there 3 times. We had breakfast there one time. We ate at the Blue Dog, and we ate at the Hooked Island Grill. And all the reviews for their restaurants are impeccable. Like it's amazing. And it's such an eclectic little town. Everything is those beach colors. They have one little motel. They had one little motel. Then they had a big old bar and grill, Bert's Bar and Grill, and we didn't get to go there. Right before you get on the bridge to go to Pine Island. That's the only way in and out of Pine Island. And the bridge is decimated. It's absolutely gone. The Malacca is like, oh my gosh, it's absolutely torn to shreds. There is a couple buildings miraculously standing. It's super weird. But for the most part, it's just toothpicks. It's awful. And they said there was bodies, and they're right now, so you go to Pine Island, and there's Pine Island, and there's another little community on this end, and then St. James on this end. And we ate at the Low Key Tiki the first night we got there. I shared pictures of it. It's absolutely gone. There's nothing around it. A saloon made it through, and I forget something ass saloon, and that stood, and everything else. But they said 70% of St. James is like gone. And people, of course, are trying to get messages to, relatives. And the only way to get there is by boat. And they won't let you on if you don't have a property. So they've been medevacing people out. They've been trying to go door to door. So it's a mess. And then Sanibel and Captiva is the same way. There's a big bridge that goes over to Sanibel. And that bridge is torn up. I saw drone footage of it today. And it's just, and most of it, all the homes and stuff where the sand comes in. So the sand's inside their home, on their driveways. They've got boats in their front yards, side yards. It's just an absolute mess. It is so sad. And I don't know if I can share this link. Let me see if I can. This link literally will take you into the devastation. It is unbelievable. And you can get an aerial view. It's updated like every half hour or something. Let me see if I can share it in the comments. Let me get back over to Malacca. Hang on one second. Okay, here I go. Okay, hopefully this works. And you can literally see how it's just, oh my goodness. Okay, copy. Let me share it in here and see if the link works. It's unbelievable. And and to see, like, they're updating it every half hour, so, like, relatives and stuff can look, or even people that live there, they can look at their homes and at least get an idea. Do I have a roof? Do I have a home? Do I have something? So that area, you can literally go and get an aerial view of everything. It's pretty dang amazing. Absolutely. I just can't even believe it. And I guess they do it during the hurricanes like this. So it's just incredible that we were just there. And now, and I mean, that was our favorite little community. It was just so cool. I mean, it screamed Log Home Mom and Dad. You know, it had like the coffee bars and the cool little restaurants, and everybody's freaking nice. And it was funny because I followed the Blue Dog and Hooked Island Grill on Facebook on Log Home Mom, and they immediately followed me back, which doesn't always happen. And they were like, "We can't wait for you to come in," and stuff. So that was super cool. And I mean, just everybody's so nice and laid back and just friendly. And it's so endearing after, you know, everything you deal with every day on Facebook and in the world and all. But they're such a great little community. And it's nice to see them all coming together. And the motel's gone. There's tons of Airbnbs, and they're just super cute. All the bright little beachy colors, you know, the blues and yellows and pinks and stuff. It's just beautiful, and it's just gone. And it makes me just, I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so glad we got to go there. And we kind of went there by accident because silly Log Home Mom, when I booked it, I was trying to find it. It said it was only like 10 miles from Captiva by boat. I thought must have been a bridge from there to Captiva. So, God, I can't laugh. So I booked our little ferries and, you know, ferry boats. I booked those. And it was an hour and a half ride to Captiva, even though you could see Captiva from Pine Island. Oh my gosh, it was awful. It was awful. But you can't even get over to Captiva, and that's a multi-million-dollar community. I can't even imagine what they're dealing with. But what is so weird is we went to Cayo Costa, the state park that's in the middle of the, you know, Gulf there. You got Captiva, then you got Little Captiva, and you got Cabbage Key and Giuseppe, and then Cayo Costa. And the only way to get there is by a boat. This ferry goes, a couple of ferries go there, and that's it. And there's about a half dozen homes on there that they rebuilt after Irma, and they're all solar or generator, and they Airbnb them for about $400 a night. It's super cool. They're huge homes. Like, it would be a great place if you had a lot of people to split it with. So that's the only way you can get on there. Well, Ian hit Cuba, and then the second touchdown was Cayo Costa. It's perfectly fine. It didn't do anything to it besides, you know, rough up the seas and stuff. I bet the shelling is amazing because it's known for its shelling. And so that's just amazing that could happen. But then, like I said, you've got, I don't know how Little Captiva's faring. I haven't looked on the thing. I don't even know, like, Captiva is literally multi-million-dollar homes. They're big old mansions. They're huge. You can't move on there, even a, you know, condo or whatever, for less than a couple million. It's incredible. So it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a cool little town. They've got great restaurants. The only thing I hate about them, but I guess, you know, they don't have the infrastructure, is you literally have to pay to park, which I don't mind, but it's $5 an hour. And of course they have the parking patrol go around. And he's so funny because the car was next to us and they were just going out and looking on the pier. And you don't do that and both of y'all leave the car, you know. And they came back right when he was there, and he was pulling around, and he has his iPad, and he literally takes a picture of the tag and uploads it, and he let them off. I was really surprised. But it's $5 an hour to park out there. And I'm just like, what the heck? $5. And you can't, like, park in this lot and then go to it because it tells what lot you're in. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, why not just make it like $10 a day or $20 a day or something like that instead of $5 an hour? Because who knows how long they're going to stay? You know, we might stay an hour, we might stay, you know, who knows? But it's so, so pretty. Hey guys, hey Charlene, hey Sandy, hey y'all. We have tried to fare that okay. we're trying so hard. Poor Lockham dad is just exhausted. The other night he came on Thursday night. He got home, I think about 9 or 10, and he left around 7:30 or so, 7:30. And he was so dehydrated. He was cramping. Thank God we got muscle relaxers. The first thing I did is give him a muscle relaxer and went down and got a Gatorade for him. And it took him a little bit to, settle down. So, but he did, and then he was back up. And then, oh my gosh, oh Lordy. Last night, so October 1st, we always launch products with Scentsy. And I've kind of spoiled my customers. If they need something and it's coming out, I get up in the middle of the night and I order it for them when it's coming out, so they don't have to get up in the middle of the night and order it, because some things sell out and I don't want my customers to miss out on something. So there was this one warmer I was real afraid that was going to sell out, and I haven't looked to see if it sold out yet. And I come in, I sat on the Lockham dad went to bed around 10, and I sat down on the computer and I did all my orders, and all my customers put in their payments. It was, I got everything done, had it all done. Then the last thing I had to do is just put in the new products. And so this morning it launches at 3 a.m. our time, midnight Pacific Standard Time, but 3 a.m. our time. Well, I couldn't get to sleep. And I ended up staying up till 3 a.m. because I was afraid I wouldn't get up. So you come in, you get put in a little queue. It's like this little waiting room, and then they let a little bit of people in at a time so we don't crash. So sure enough, we all get in there, and I get everything in the cart, go to checkout, crashed. So we sat and waited for 2 hours for them to finally tell us, we're not going to get back up right now. Just go to bed and we'll see y'all in the morning. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. So I got to sleep at 6 a.m. and slept until about 8 and got back up because I was like, oh my God, has it started yet? But they started at 1 today. So I got everything in, and some things had sold out in that little bit of period where people were checking out before it crashed. So man, am I exhausted. So I've been working all day too, and taking care of these doggies. They're so bad. So I've been working all day, just, busting my booty, getting all this stuff done and stuff. So, I got one more to put in. I'm waiting on one customer. I got one more thing to put in, but boy, exhausting. It was exhausting. So now I'm like really super tired, but we're doing good. Doggies didn't know what to think. They were really freaked out. They got in their kennel and didn't really move. They didn't move that night, or they went potty and stuff the next day on Thursday, because our rains didn't stop until around 5:30, I think. It might have been a little later because that's when our power come back on. And they didn't know what to think about all this. And so that's the first storm. Now, our sweet Emma, if she had been here, she was so scared of thunderstorms. And as she aged, she got more scared of thunderstorms. She would have been in our lap the whole time. But these guys didn't know what to do. So I think they thought maybe they were in trouble or something. I don't know. They got in their beds. But then now there's a huge limb in the front yard, and Emma thinks it's somebody. So she is constantly barking at this dang limb out there, because we have I'm talking about you. She knew it. So the front door is it's not stained glass, but it looks like a stained glass. It's clear. So some of the looking out of it's kind of, she's licking my shirt. Stop. Some of it is kind of bubbly and stuff. And so all she sees is a figure out there, and she keeps barking, thinking it's something. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, no. They are so jealous of each other. Oh, my goodness. I got one on each side right now. They are so jealous. I can't even believe it. Look at this. Y'all are too much. Y'all are too much. I know, Elwie. She can't help herself. Okay, Daisy, you're strong. She's so strong, y'all. Isn't she big? Goodness. So I'm sitting here at my computer. I was cleaning up a little bit of stuff from this morning because I've got stuff everywhere. I have all kinds of systems there's a lot of stuff I still like to do by hand. I don't do it on computer because I can't take it with me everywhere. And I like to have like my customers' stuff with me. If they want something, I can write it down in my book. So I've got all my stuff. And then I have like when I pay my bills and all this. But so when I come up here, I like to feel like, I know, aren't they cute? Little stinkers. They both got their heads looking out the banister of the staircase. So when I come up here, I like it to smell really good. And so I got my fall pumpkin Scentsy warmer. It's super cute. This is the top of it. This is an older one. It's not too old. It's probably about 5 years old. This is the top, and the bottom's bigger. So this is my, oh my God. So I got this up here. So when I'm up here working, I always put my favorite scents in. And I was trying to find something, and I didn't find any of my fall scents. So I was like, you know what? I'm putting in my all-time favorite scent because I had some of this up here. This is my all-time favorite scent ever. Cranberry and tinsel. Cranberry and tinsel. I could eat this. So about 3 years ago, Scentsy, we're fixing to launch a brick collection, by the way, like in middle of October. There's 5 bricks. So when we had this about 3 years ago, this was in a brick. I'm not kidding y'all. I must have 22 of these bricks. And a brick is 6 times as big as this. So I am going to be set for the next 22 years. Plus I have a couple of bars. So it is the best smell. I mean, it literally just smells like log cabin Christmas. Cranberry and tinsel. It's piney and cranberry and just, oh my, I could eat it. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So that, like, I could just sit here and just smell it. It is my favorite all-time scent ever, ever, ever. And we started, since he started this thing, it was a year after these came out in brick. They started Scentsy Club. So like if you had a scent you loved, you can put it in Scentsy Club. And if it goes away, as long as it's in your club, they'll make it for you the rest of your life. So I'm waiting for this to come back so I can get it made for me the rest of my life because I love this scent. It's so good. It's just scrumptious. And the one that's really popular with everybody, and I have a couple of bricks of it too, because it is amazing. It's very snowy spruce. It smells just like a Christmas tree. It is amazing. And we have it in the little pods. So like the these. So these go into like a wall fan diffuser, which is made out of polycarbonate so it won't break. And you can put it behind your Christmas tree in the outlet and turn on the very snowy spruce if you have a fake tree, and you're going to get that, amazing Christmas tree scent. So I have a lot of customers that do that, and you don't hear it running. It's super quiet. Like that's running. You don't hear it running. I have, let me unplug it here. I have this guy that sits at my computer, and this is our like mini fan diffuser. And you can plug this into it. There we go. You can plug this into your USB for your car too. It sits right in your car. And so you put your little pot on there and it makes it smell delicious. But yeah, I've got a lot of people that buy that because I'll never forget. We went to Sam's Club one time to get some groceries, and something about, I don't know, we were talking about, they got fresh Christmas trees in. And I remember us sitting there was a lady ahead of us and we're talking about the Christmas trees. And I'm like, man, they smell so good. And the lady in front of us says, girl, we get us a fake Christmas tree. And I Lysol that sucker. I was like dying laughing. I Pine Sol that sucker. Welcome, Dad's on his way. He's just like, I Pine Sol that sucker. And I'm like, oh my God. So that's going to rust. I thought that was the funniest thing. I'm like, all right then. And then I have very snowy spruce and room spray. So I do have little trees at the front door, and I spray my little trees. I spray my curtains. So if people come in, I got a nice smell. Like people, the number one thing people notice when they first come to your home is the smell. And it's funny because we don't notice the smell sometimes. Like people with cats get so used to it that they don't notice it. Well, friends come over. I'm telling you, your friends smell your cats. You can't help it. I mean, and you get immune to it. It's called nose blind, and you get immune to it, and you don't know. And a lot of times friends don't say nothing, but they walk in and it's like, oh, yuck. Ooh. So I don't want anybody. I don't have cats. Bless her heart. Hope you handed her your Scentsy card. This was way before Scentsy. This was I'll never forget it. She had me laughing. I was just like cracking up. She's like, girl, I spray Pine Sol over my tree. Okay, well, that's one way to do it. Hey, stop. What are you doing? You chewing on your bone? Okay, good. Make sure she wasn't chewing on my desk. I know. I do keep my card for other times because I'll meet some people like in the candle aisle, and I'm like, oh, honey, don't use that. Oh, honey. It's funny because I never noticed before. You got candle because Bath and Body Works was my go-to. I'd stock up when they'd have their sales and stuff. And so I never really thought about when you have a candle, and it never bothered me until now. When you have a candle and, when it burns, everything burns. Where does all that go? Where's all that wax and stuff go? Up in our noses and then on our walls everywhere. And then the soot from the wick and everything. And I never even thought about it. And I was looking for something safe. Lucy's only 4 pounds. So she's low to the ground. I had a grandbaby coming, and I was looking for something that would be a lot more safe. And that's how I found Scentsy. So I got out, I think it was the year. So I joined in like February. And so in December, I was cleaning. I got out my favorite. It was balsam fir candle. And I had probably about that much left in it. So I got it out, sat on the counter, and I lit it. And a few minutes later, all I could do was see smoke in the air and the smell. I could smell the balsam, but now I could smell the wick, the smoke from the wick. And I'm like, oh my God, I never noticed this before. So it's just incredible to think that we're breathing all that in. So like Scentsy, when you have, as a matter of fact, when you have your wax, it's a food grade paraffin. It's non-toxic. You can eat it if you wanted to. So if the kids were to get into it, it also doesn't get warmer than body temperature. So if the kids were to put their hands in it, they're not going to get burned. But with the paraffin, the only thing that warms off is the actual scent. And so when it doesn't smell anymore, I literally take a couple of cotton balls and throw it in and absorb the wax. And I put it in a Ziploc bag normally because you can use them as fire starters. They're amazing. Or you can throw them away, whatever. So you absorb the wax and just put in new cubes. But you're not smelling in all that wax and all the wick and everything. I never thought about it. It never dawned on me until I got the candle and got it back out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's soot. And it's funny because when I walk into someone's house, I can smell candles immediately too. And it just has that smell about it with the wick and everything. And I don't know, I'm not sure exactly what they use, but I know a lot of people use soy, but it dissipates into the air. So the candle and the scent dissipates into the air. So you got to think that's going in your lungs. It's getting on your, like we went and cleaned, this Lacombe dad did. He went and cleaned this lady's home, and she always burned her candles on this one. He cleaned her carpet. That's what we do for a living. Also, water damage when we clean carpet and upholstery. She had this little like sofa table or something against the wall that she had a candle on, and above it on the wall is just a vapor of soot. You can see the residue from the soot on the wall, and I can't help but to think. I mean, we're breathing that into our lungs and everything. I mean, that can't be good for us. I know it can't be. Only use Scentsy, the flame from candles triggers my asthma. That's another thing. I never realized that. And, people say, well, I'm allergic to, candles or whatever. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I have allergies so bad. I've never had a Scentsy scent bother me at all. So I am like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because it got to a point where Lacombe dad couldn't even get like body wash. I had to smell it first to make sure I didn't have a reaction to it. But I've not had that issue with any of our Scentsy products. But they use all natural ingredients. They're non-toxic. So I'm assuming that's why, because we don't truly know what's in everything. When you read ingredients, it's like all these words you don't know. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. But it's been amazing. I love it. I mean, I absolutely love changing out my wax. And like I said, I want something sitting here. My whole point of telling you all that is I want something sitting here that I love. I always put something in here I love. So like I have a little secret stash. I need to bring up some fall stash because I really don't have any fall stash up here. Let me tell you some of my favorites. We don't have these in the catalog. These are in my club though. So we've got a lavender and white balsam. So balsam tree and lavender. Oh my God, it smells so good. It's like this clean outdoorsy scent. It's so delicious. This is not in my club because it's not come back yet for me to put it in my club, but I had ordered some. So I have extras, but this one's in my club, which is my favorite in the summer. It's just called Beach. It smells like the beach. It is so dang good. I love it. So that one is in my club, Beach, Beach, Beach. And then also in my club is Blue Hyacinth, the flower. Oh my God, it smells just like the flower. Oh, it's so good. So these are my little stash up here. I had others, but I've used them. And then what's cool is when we earned the Mediterranean cruise, you know, we met people from around the world because they brought, everybody got to go. So England, Australia. And so some of us decided to buddy up with each other, people we didn't know. And I paired up with an Australian lady that have become her and her husband become our friends. We just love them. And she brought me a bag of stuff that we don't have here. And so like they've got different scents than we have. UK and Australia are very big on floral scents. US is big on everything. There's not really like this one thing we're really big on. So like I am harboring a couple of cubes of the bars she brought me, and every once in a while just like this is sitting on my desk. This is very floral. This one is oh my God, I can't even read it. Frampangi. So it's a flower. I think it's almost like, if I'm not mistaken, it's almost like a plumera. So I'm like literally every bar she brought me, I've got like 2 cubes left just so I can open it up and smell. It's so good. So she brought us like kangaroo jerky. She brought us an Australian flag, an Australian tea towel, and just, I mean, she's just so sweet. She brought us the biggest Australian candies, and she just brought us the biggest bag of goodies. It was the sweetest thing ever. We had dinner with them the first night and got to know, I just love them. I love them. They're just amazing people. So it's kind of neat that we get to meet people. And like right now I have a lady here from the UK. She's a Scentsy consultant in the UK and she's at Disney and she ordered a ton of stuff and I'm meeting her this week to take it to her. We have things here that they don't have. So like they can't, because of their regulations, the government doesn't let them have the type of room sprays we have with the pump nozzle. I don't have one here on my, it's just a, squirt. They don't have body cream. They don't have dryer discs. So we have these discs that go in the dryer that make your clothes smell good when it's drying. There's a couple of other things. We like our travel tins, but we discontinued those last catalog season. So I've got a whole little bag full of stuff I'm bringing to her too, of goodies, extra goodies that she doesn't get over there. And so it's kind of weird how some countries have this, like Australia has all of it too. But for whatever reason, the UK, there's things they don't allow. And those are some of the things they don't allow. Like they have hand cream, but they don't have body cream. Weird. It's so weird. So, and I love it. And I love that the pandemic's officially over. So people from UK are traveling again because I've got to meet a lot of people like that. I'm here in Orlando. So they'll message me and say, hey, can I get some stuff and have it waiting on me when I get there? And I'm like, hey, yeah, you can. So I've met some really amazing people that way. It's been super sweet. And we've met them like, oh, I'll drive out to Disney, like downtown Disney. This lady is just on International Drive, which is our big like tourist section. If you ever been to Pigeon Forge, no, Gatlinburg, you know how it's got the drive, and Pigeon Forge the same way. It's got the drive where like all the stuff is there, hotels and carnival games and stuff like that. That's what's at, on iDrive. It's like tons of outlet malls. There's a big old Bass Pro Shop down there. There's hotels, restaurants, SeaWorld's down there, Discovery Cove and Aquatica, they're all down there. So it's kind of cool that I get to meet all these people. It's fun. Oh my gosh. So how are you guys doing? Did everybody fare okay through the hurricane? Did y'all do good? I got to tell you, this one for me was probably the scariest I've been through. And of course, it being the 5th largest in the US ever, it was pretty scary waking up in the middle of the night and you could hear the trees swishing. And I'm like, oh my God, I was going to throw into the window. And so thank goodness in our bedroom, now we've got windows here, big windows, like up on the second story, because its ceiling's like, I don't know, 18, 19 foot tall. And then they have the big clear windows. In the bedroom, our bedroom's huge. It's really big. And then we've got a window on each side, front and back. And then there's a door, but the door has like wood panels in between the window panes. And that's all we got as far as windows. So even if like something were to come through one of the windows, we would have been safe in our bed, chances are. But the one thing would be if like a tree were to fall on top of the house, we would not be so safe in bed. So I was like, are we in the safe place? But then I'm like, if we go downstairs, all those windows, if window breaks, we'll end up with glass. And so I don't know. There's no really, I get. And one lady, oh my goodness. So one lady over, I think she was in Fort Myers, and the Fort Myers pier, gone. If you've ever been to Fort Myers and the pier, it goes way out and then it goes like this, gone to the pilings. This one lady, I was watching her on TV and she said, doggone it. Oh, she has a table that has a concrete top, and that's where she stayed underneath it because she figured that was the safest place. Concrete tabletop. I'm like, all it would have taken was a nice gust of wind and to break that legs and that to come right down on you, darling. So thank goodness she's okay. And we saw people like swimming through their first floor trying to get to the second floor, and goodness, it was a mess. Even New Smyrna Beach had like 2 feet of water in most places. It was insane. Lockham Dad just came through one of the neighborhoods that we grew up in East Orlando called Rio Pinar. All the rich kids lived there. Had a country club back then. It was the thing. But there's probably not any houses that weren't affected. He went live, like we did video chat, and he is videotaping going down the streets, and there's service vehicles at all the houses, and there's furniture sitting out. So they must have taken in a ton of water for furniture to be out. It had to, been quite a bit. Almost every house had furniture out by the curb and stuff. So I can't even imagine what they went through. They must have done some extensive flooding there. So that was kind of a little weird. A lot here in Central Florida, honestly, a lot of flooding. But the one thing that didn't happen like it did last time, I don't know if the infrastructure is a little bit better, but power, either people didn't lose power or their power wasn't off very long like us. It was 24 hours. So I don't know. I don't know if they've improved our infrastructure or what it was, and the guy had me worried because he came up our driveway in the neighbor's driveway, and I saw him, and I ran out there because I was going to have to start lugging stuff to the camper. Our camper did take on water, by the way, and we don't know where. I was going to have to start taking stuff from the fridge to the camper, and I go out. I have to hike down the neighbor's driveway because he backs down through there, and he mentions something about a cable being down, and he wanted to make sure it wasn't live wires. And I'm like, well, that's really weird because our power went out at 5:30 before any big winds or anything came around. That's super weird. And then I said, well, I heard a pole was down in the neighborhood next to us, that it went down, that was the cause. And he goes, well, we have thousands of people without power right now, and you guys are the least of our concern. And he got in his truck and left. And I'm like, we're never going to have power again. And sure enough, though, it came on about an hour later. So they must have fixed whatever was going on over there. And I only heard that because we have that Nextdoor app. And someone had said that. So I was like, I was afraid we weren't going to get power for a hot minute. Because I knew it only affected like 800 and something of us, because it tells you when you go to their website, Duke's website. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So we're not a priority at all. And we went out first. I mean, we had friends that didn't go out till midnight or 2 a.m. or whatever. So people were like, you're out of power? And I was like, yeah, 5:30. So, and then the lines, the cable lines. So I talked to our neighbor and I told them what they said, and they're like, Those lines were there when we bought the house. It had nothing to do with the hurricane. They were down, so they must have been down from the last hurricane, or a tree or something took them down. So they weren't even live lines. I'm like, oh my gosh. I didn't know that though. I didn't know that to tell them that. That was super weird. Hated knowing somebody family friends from jewelry. Oh, it was awful. It was so awful. And you know what was so sad about it was, sorry, I shouldn't have breathed in so deep. On Log Home Mom, you know, I've made a couple of updates and put pictures and stuff on. You wouldn't believe people. There was a couple of people comment on there. That's what you get for living in a hurricane state. I'm just like, oh my God. If you have mountains in between, you wouldn't have any problems. You know, I mean, it was, and it had to have been a good 20 different people. I blocked people like crazy, you know. Oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys, what the heck? Every state has some kind of natural disaster that happens. You know, you're just sitting there going, are you ridiculous or what? Yes, you are. But I'm just like, oh, what a horrible thing to say. I mean, literally one guy says you deserve it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You deserve it. Okay, great. Because you're going to pay for me to get out of the state? You know, moving is not cheap. You're going to pay for that to happen? Because I'd go today if I could. I'd either go closer to the ocean or to the mountains, one or the other. I love them both. But I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, people are dead. You know, they didn't deserve that. And you don't know. You don't know if something's, I mean, we haven't had a hurricane. Well, now Irma hit. But before Irma, we hadn't had a hurricane in 15 years that, you know, really affected us very much. So I was just like, oh my goodness, you people are ridiculous. Oh, there's Log Home Dad. The dogs get so excited when he comes home. He has to let them outside to work off some of their energy. They love him. Daisy loves him. Truth be told, he loves Daisy. Daisy is like, I think Daisy imprinted on Log Home Dad, or Log Home Dad imprinted on her one. Those two are buddies. Oh my gosh. We have broke her from jumping on the bed at night because it'd be in the middle of the night. And she always, I don't know if I more room on my side or what, but she always jumped on the bed on my side and would land on my chest, on my stomach, on my legs. And she hurts. She's solid. She is muscle. Like, she is solid. She doesn't even know that she hurts like she does. Girl, you can't fix stupid. Oh my gosh. And that's a great thing about Log Home Mom. I don't even have to talk to these people. I just block them and delete their comments and move on, because you can't. And it's funny because there's been times, you know, you're not sure what someone their intention was. You think you know, and I've given them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll comment, and then of course they'll come back some smarty pants. I was right. I should have just blocked them. So it's just like, oh my goodness. And the things they say to each other, they get on there and say to each other, is just like, how do you talk to strangers on the internet like this? I don't even understand it. You tired?
I'm tired.
Oh, bless him. He got up. What time did you leave this morning?
7:30, 7:45.
I know I had coffee waiting on me when I got up.
Yep.
He had my coffee made. He put the dogs in their kennel. This is the funniest thing. So we got 2 kennels up here because we don't quite trust them by themselves. Plus, it's a nice little timeout. Like, y'all have enough. Go in your kennel. And literally, we can tell them to go in their kennel, and they go in their kennel. No issues. So most times, we just take the door and close it. We don't even lock it. And they don't even realize that it's locked in. But anyway, he had them both in their kennel this morning. So when I woke up, I was panicking because I was thinking, oh my God, I see them both in their kennel. And then I smell coffee. And I'm like, I'm getting coffee. Mm-hmm. And as I'm downstairs, Daisy's doing her little bark. And I'm like, don't you start with me this morning.
Is my steak and potatoes done?
Steak and potatoes. You might get some potatoes thrown in the fry.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I made this, y'all, I made this big thing of chicken salad. I'm talking big. It's gone. There might be a half cup left. Log Home Dad has been coming and snacking on it. And then he gets out the whole container, right? I see him doing this night before last. He gets out the whole container and we have these pita chips in a bag. And the Stacy's pita chips are really yummy, like the scoopable ones. And so I see him sitting there eating with them. So last night, as I come up here and I'm preparing everybody, I hadn't eaten yet. I've been so busy. So I got me some and I got me a bowl and I come up here and I'm eating it. Well, I put in my mouth because I think it's a piece of bone and it kind of creeped me out. And then I realized it had to be a pita chip. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Welcome Dad creeping me out over here because I get creeped out over. I have to eat like chicken breasts. I can't see veins. I can't see fat and gristle. I can't do any of it. So all that creeps me out. And I'm just like, no, not going to do it. So I'm like, I think that was a piece of pita chip because he was just dipping right in it. I'm like, stinker. All right, y'all. I know, bless him. He's working so hard. I can't even believe how hard he's working. He's just, we need the work though, y'all. I mean, it's a blessing that we're able to be there and have a service that we can help people when they need us. But like we needed the work so bad. So I'm just so thankful that, we've got the work and we've got a waiting list for customers and it's been really nice. I mean, we've really had to tell some people, like I said earlier, they'll call and they'll go, well, can I get an estimate? I'm sorry, we don't have time to come to you. If we drive an hour to their place, then Log Home Dad surveys everything and gets all the measurements and stuff. He comes back. It takes him a good hour or so to put everything in the computer to do an estimate. So now he's wasted, 2 or 3 hours. And then if they don't want us for the job, that's 2 or 3 hours lost when he could be doing other jobs. So it's like, if you're not having us do the work, we can't come out and give estimates. We just don't have the time, So it's funny because a lot of people, even with carpet cleaning, can you guys come out and give an estimate? Sorry, we don't have the time to do that. I'm so sorry. I can tell you how much it is a room. It's not going to change anything, So I'm like, we can't come out. We don't have the time for that. And people don't realize, by gas and tolls and time, and it's just like, oh my goodness, we can't do that. I can tell you over the phone I can tell you what upholstery and carpet's going to cost, but I cannot tell you what a water damage is going to cost. Even if we give them an estimate, that isn't always what it is because you don't know until you get there and really like open up the walls and see how wet they are. And there's so many things that can happen. So you just don't know, but I know, bless him. He's such a hard worker. And he says, what'd you tell me last night? You called and you said, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
He said, I'm too old for this. He goes, I don't want to do this again. He come home the first night, which would have been Thursday. Did you? He said he had a better day today. He come home the first night, which would have been Thursday night. And, oh my God, he was limping so bad. His hip was hurting so bad, because I'm sure, did you wear your watch Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
How many steps did you have?
I think it was right at 20,000.
20,000 steps Thursday. That's unbelievable. So yeah, that's crazy. That's like New York City steps. I drag Log Home Dad all over New York City. If Jody's still on, I've dragged Jody all over New York City. When I went with Jody and her daughter and my daughters, I literally had a schedule of what we were doing every day. We're going here. This is our schedule. We're this time and this time and this time. It was so bad. I wanted to see everything. It was great though. But yeah, so 20,000 steps is a lot of steps in a day. It's a lot of work back and forth, and then hauling that equipment, all the equipment in and out. So it's a lot. It's very labor intensive work. It really is. Like with Irma, I went with them. There's no way I could even sit in a truck with my back right now. I went with them with Irma and, I was bruised from head to toe, y'all. Because if I'm going, I'm working. And that equipment just beat me up. I had bruises all over me. Log Home Dad can carry 2 air movers, and here I am, 1 air mover carrying it all up. I know. goodness. Yeah. So and I've done it too. I have done tile roofs with Log Home Dad. I went and worked. He said he's always told me I was his best worker because I want to get done. I want to go home. I want to go home. You hire someone and you just don't know how they're going to be. He's hired people because we have like a restoration pool we work with, and he's hired them and he's called them and said, send me someone else. I need someone that works. We had a hotel one time flood a few years back. It was a big flood, and we hired from a labor pool that time because we needed people moving equipment, moving furniture. And one guy, oh my God, he was like, banging into stuff. And I'm like, dude, you guys stop. Like, I was like so mad. I'm like, you don't bump and bang things up. We don't do that. This company does not do that. Just like, oh my goodness, you guys stop it. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to let you go. I know y'all are probably tired. I am exhausted. I'm sitting here like, I was yesterday too. I went live on Log Home Mom and I was like, oh my God, guys, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Y'all make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell because that's what I got to get to 4,000 hours on this before we get monetized. So we got the 1,000. We got now I think we're 1,150 subscribers, but we need 4,000 hours, watching hours, to get to being able to be monetized. So that's why I'm trying to transition over to YouTube, because Facebook, there's no opportunity for any of that. And we got to do something. We need opportunity because we are, boy, things are going up, but our pay sure ain't going up. All right, y'all. Well, you have an amazing evening. It was nice to see you, Christy Lynn. Aw, love you, girl. If you come back to Florida, you got to let me know. We got to go have some coffee and lunch. Maybe we'll do lunch to dinner. Lunar something. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.